Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is John Paval with Access Arts Live and this week's organ live stream action roundup for the week of October 6th until Sunday, October 12th. And we've got a good week going for you to tell you all about. We've got top selections coming from two top organ festivals, the Eccles Organ Festival Sunday night in Salt Lake City, the Bergamo Organ Festival going on every Friday during this month of October. We've got mixed concerts with brass, with horns, with opera singers, and organ coming from the Catholic Cathedral in Moscow, and some of our usual weekly recitals, quality weekly recitals from Toronto, from London, from Paris, from Tomsk in Siberia. So I can't wait to get to delivering all of this to you. Before I do so, though, I need to remind you, if you're watching this on Facebook, please like the video. If you're watching this on any of our other platforms, please follow and or subscribe to Access Arts Live on YouTube, X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, or LinkedIn, so we can continue to provide you with more than 1,000 live links to live performances online in this coming year, like we did in the last year. We're not kidding around. So having said all that, let me start taking you through this week's selection of live stream organ recitals and concerts. Starting with this one, which is in just about an hour from now. It's about 6 o'clock in the evening here in Paris, France, where I'm live streaming this month. And that makes it noon on the East Coast and 9 in the morning on the West Coast. That's why we picked that time. Anyway, and this concert's coming up at in just about an hour from now, about 7 o'clock Paris time. Tuesday, October 7th, St. James Episcopal Church in Toronto live streams hometown musician Stefani Bedin, who is the music director and organist at Christ Church Deer Park in Toronto. And she's a solo and collaborative performer and educator as well. That will be at, as I just mentioned, 7 o'clock in the evening European time, but it's 1 o'clock on the East Coast in the US and 10 in the morning on the West Coast. We'll give you the link to Stefani Bedin if we have room in the space allowed us for commentary. She's been the director of music and organist at Christ Church in Deer Park for about a year and a half now, since January 2024. She got her BA and her master's and her doctorate of musical arts degrees. She got her BA and her master's of musical arts at the University of Toronto, and she's working on her doctorate there now. And before she became the director of music at Christ Church Deer Park, she was an associate organist at St. Basil's Catholic Parish, which is connected with the University of Toronto St. Michael's College. She did that from 2000 for about 7 years before that. And she's won several awards. And she's a teaching assistant in the theory department there. We don't know what she's going to be playing. They never tell us what they're going to be playing at these concerts at St. James, Toronto. I can tell you the organ has 87 ranks, 67 speaking stops, over 4 manuals and 6 divisions, 5,101 pipes. It's been rebuilt a number of times, the last time by L.I. Phelps and Associates way back in 1976, so it may be due for a renovation. Next up is an organist whom you have enjoyed live stream concerts with in the past if you've been following us, because he appears now and again at the Temple Church London. Wednesday, October 8th, the Temple Church London harpsichordist, organist, and music director, Thomas Allery, plays the Harrison and Harrison organ. That'll be at 1 o'clock London time, 2 o'clock European time, 9 in the morning on the East Coast, 6 in the morning on the West Coast, midnight down under in Australia. He's been the music director at Temple Church since 2023, for 2 years now. Before that, he was the assistant director there from 2019 on. He's very interested in the Baroque repertoire. He's a founding member of the Ensemble Hesperi, which focuses on 18th century Scottish Baroque music. Went to Oxford, the Royal College of Music, Guildhall. He's also organist at the Church of St. Mary Le Beau in Cheapside, where he plays for City of London events sometimes. And he teaches the basso continuo at the Royal College of Music, and he teaches organ at the City of London School and Radley College. It's a Harrison and Harrison organ, as I mentioned in the announcement. It's a 4-manual organ complete with 3 32-foot stops. It was originally built up in Scotland in 1953, where its claim to fame is that it was inaugurated by Marcel Dupré, who came up from Paris in 1927 to test it out. It's been completely worked out or overhauled in 2012, 2013 at the Harrison and Harrison Workshop in Durham. Next up, we get to one of the first of our mixed concerts this week coming out of the Catholic Cathedral in Moscow. There will be 3 of them. Let me start out by showing you the organist from the Moscow Conservatory. Well, maybe I should also put up the other 2, the 2 singers that will be singing with her, because they are a part of this show. I have photos of both of them. Will they come on screen? Well, no, I don't think so. One of them will come on screen. Can I get both of them on screen for you? This I do not know. Let's see. Yes, I can. Okay, let's put the organist first, though. There you go. Okay, now I can do this. Now I can. Wednesday, October 8th, Art Bene live streams a program of Baroque opera arias by Handel, Purcell, and Vivaldi, with Moscow Conservatory organist Mariana Vysotskaya accompanying Novaya Opera Theater's Olga Yanova and Anastasia Lepeshinskaya. How are those for Russian names? Yeah, and I managed to get them all out. Olga Yanova, this is Olga Yanova, I believe. Hope I didn't get these photos mixed up. She's been a soloist with the Novaya Opera Theater for 20 years or so. She's listed as having sung with the Bolshoi 20 years ago as well. So, yeah, that is Olga Yanova. And then the other singer, the mezzo-soprano, Anastasia Lepeshinskaya, what I could find of her working recently was singing the role of Carmen in a full performance of that opera in April 2024 at the Romanian National Opera in Cluj-Napoca. So they're both active singers. I can give you some examples of what they'll be. They'll be singing a duet, "Sound the Trumpet," by Purcell. They'll be singing. One of them is going to sing Handel's "Ombra mai fu" from the opera Xerxes, which I always thought was a tenor aria. Another duet, "Laudamus Te," by Vivaldi. From his Gloria, a duet by Henry Purcell, my dearest, my fairest, etc., etc. So there's a lot of duets in here, and the two of them must have been working on it together. And that's what we have for you on Wednesday from Art Bene at the Catholic Cathedral in Moscow. What do we have next, John? Next, I think it takes us out to Siberia on Friday. Yeah, Maria Blazhevich there. Friday, October 10th, the Tomsk Philharmonic's concert organist Maria Blazhevich, 2021 Organist of the Year in Russia, plays a thoughtful program alternating works by Johann Sebastian Bach and Franz Liszt, part of an ongoing series highlighting Bach and later composers in relationship to each other. That's on the website of the Tomsk Philharmonic. We give you the link. You go to their news page, and the first box that you'll see on the news page will be the box for this concert. So she'll play the Bach Fantasy and Fugue in G minor, BWV 542. Then she plays Liszt Prelude and Fugue on a theme by Bach, which for all we know is that theme from BWV 542. Then Bach Toccata and Fugue in D minor, BWV 538, and then Liszt, the Legend of St. Francis, then Bach's unfinished fugue from the cycle, The Art of the Fugue, and the chorale from Before Thy Throne I Stand, O Lord. Oh, I wish I had the German version of that because I love pronouncing these titles. So she's going through a series of these. She already did Mendelssohn and Bach. She still has César Franck and Max Reger to do. And a very thoughtful series by not only a talented, but an intelligent and inquisitive organist, and musicologically inclined at that. I will say it's not the greatest organ in the world that they have there. It's a concert organ, but it's not one of these big church organs. And then the next concert we have for you is once again a mixed concert coming from the Roman Catholic Cathedral. Okay. All right. I love the way they mix it up there, and it's always interesting. And they fill that church, and they also, there's a very active group of people following those concerts in the chat box, whom I've become familiar with over time and become sort of online friends with. Love to have some of them on a live stream like this with me, giving commentary, especially since ongoing right now is the Chopin Institute's international competition. And boy, there are a lot of people in those chat boxes who know a lot more about music than I do. I'd love to have them in commenting on some. I'm going to try to get that organized. Anyway, let's get back to this, though, this organ stuff. Friday, October 10th, Art Bene live streams organist Ekaterina Spirkina and the New Life Brass Quintet, playing Bach, Handel, Frescobaldi, Rossini, Khachaturian, Holst, Artemiev, and others. That's a lot of music. It's this is at 8 o'clock in the evening, European time, 2 o'clock on the East Coast, 11 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast. This brass quartet is 2 trumpets, a French horn, a trombone, and a tuba. They've been playing together since 2009. They all graduated from the Gnesen School in Moscow, which is, one of those mainline schools that the top people all go to. They have, they are official artists of the Yamaha company, so they're commercially recognized. They've played in Moscow and done a lot of international tours. It's classical jazz. It's classical as jazz. It's pop compositions. Give you some examples. They start out with the Toccata for piccolo trumpet by Giovanni Battista Martini. And then they do a piece by Frescobaldi, a prelude and toccata for the tuba, or on the tuba. Rossini's Cat Duet for trumpet and trombone. And then with the organ, there's some Handel, some Gigoux, some Franz Gruber's Silent Night, a little early Christmas, some Bach, Bohlmann, Khachaturian, etc. It just goes on and on. It's going to be a very lively evening. If you like brass quintets and or if you like organ, I think it'll be fun either way. But this is especially for those of you who love the life and that verve and energy that brass quintets can bring to it. But I think Ekaterina Spirkina will keep up with them. I've seen her keep up with a lot of other kinds of musicians and singers at that Roman Catholic Cathedral in Moscow. And now we come to one of our big events this week, the Bergamo International Organ Festival, which is really a big deal. Friday, October 10th, the Bergamo International Festival continues with organist Benjamin Righetti. I'm going to start that over again because I screwed that up and I need to pull clips off of these announcements. Sorry, folks. I'm happy that some of you are watching them. Friday, October 10th, the Bergamo International Organ Festival continues with Benjamin Righetti, who's been called one of the most brilliant organists of his generation, playing a wide selection of works, including a number of his own compositions on the Sorassi organ at Santa Alessandro della Croce in Pignolo Church. Yeah, that was a mouthful. That's at 9 o'clock in the evening, European time, 3 o'clock on the East Coast, noon on the West Coast. It was the Revue Musicale de Suisse Romande, which called this Swiss organist one of the most brilliant ones in his generation. I really shouldn't quote those things because if every time I quoted somebody who was called the most brilliant in his generation, I'd be saying it all the time and you wouldn't believe a word I said. Anyway, he's the titular organist at Saint-François in Switzerland and a professor at the University of Music in Lausanne. Also plays the clavichord and forte piano. Born in 1982, so he's 40-something now. In his early 20s, from 2002 to 2007, he won a raft of awards and all over Europe, both as a soloist and, in Switzerland, Tokyo, Freiburg, Chartres, and the Grand Prix d'Orgue of the city of Paris. And that's something. But since then, in the 20 years since then, he's held over 800 concerts, either as a soloist or with orchestras. And he also does duets with the saxophonist Antoine Auberson. I tell you, man, mixing up brass and organs is becoming a thing. He's got five albums out, including Bach's trio sonatas, his own transcription of Liszt Sonata in B minor and the Missa Choralis, some César Franck and Brahms, some Mendelssohn, etc. This concert will be works by Georg Muffat, Abraham van den Kerkhoven, Pablo Bruna, and then a series of pieces by Benjamin Righetti himself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of his own. And that's unusual to have that many individual pieces by the organist himself. Then some pieces by Lefebvre Belli, by Krebs, Mozart, Bizet, from the Suite Carmen for the organ, transcribed by Benjamin Righetti. Wow. So that's another one of these, it's a top organist giving you a full-length, full evening concert, not one of these 45-minute weekly recitals, which are fine, but this is something larger for you by Benjamin Righetti. Enjoy. Okay, next up is the where is the guy? It's our usual guy. I have to introduce him though. Come on. Next up is the usual Friday afternoon in San Diego and Friday evening here in Europe, organ recital by Canon Martin Green at St. Paul's Episcopal Cathedral in San Diego. That's 1 o'clock in San Diego, 4 o'clock in New York, and 10 o'clock in the evening here in Europe. It's an Aeolian Skinner orchestra. Well, an Aeolian Skinner orchestra, Opus 1495, was installed in 1969, replacing the oldest organ in the San Diego area that I don't have a date for, but that was completely rebuilt in 2012 by Quimby Pike Organs, Opus 68. 4 manuals, 98 stops, 86 ranks, 115 draw knobs, and 4,933 pipes. And we never know what he's going to play, but he's a very articulate and engaging guy, gives you great explanations of why he chose what he did. And it's always an interesting mix of European and American composers, and some earlier ones and some more contemporary ones. Then we move on to, we're back at the Roman Catholic Cathedral on Saturday. With an organist whom I do not know, whom I do not think we have shown you live streams of before. Saturday, October 11th, Art Bene live streams organist Maria Cherepanova and trumpeter Nikita Loginov playing Albinoni, Bach, Gounod, Handel, and Widor. That's at 7 o'clock European time, 1 o'clock on the East Coast, 10 in the morning on the West Coast. This is all Baroque. I can tell you some of the pieces they're playing. Albinoni's Concerto in C major. Bach, Gounod's Ave Maria based on Bach. Then Bach's Organ Concerto number 2 in A minor after Vivaldi. Then a choral prelude, Ich ruf zu dir, from the cycle of the organ booklet, BWV 177. And then some Handel, Arian variations, some more Bach, and the finale from Charles Marie Widor's Symphony number 6, Opus 42 number 2, which is not the toccata from Symphony number 5, which people often choose. Then they'll finish off with Albinoni's Adagio. Another organ trumpet concert, organ brass concert for you to enjoy, free of charge as usual, from the Roman Catholic Cathedral in Moscow. I think we have 2 more concerts to tell you about. So we're moving along nicely today. Here's the next one. This guy. Sunday, October 5th, St. Eustache Church's, I'm sorry, I got the wrong date on that. It's October 12th. So once again, I have to redo an announcement. Sunday, October 12th, St. Eustache resident organist and showman Baptiste Florian Mal-Ouvrard plays Bach's Toccata, Adagio, and Fugue, BWV 564, and César Franck's Chorale number 3 on that magnificent Van den Heuvel organ. That's Sunday at the usual time, 5 o'clock in the evening. Your Paris time, 11 in the morning on the East Coast, 8 in the morning on the West Coast, 1 a.m. down under in Australia. And Mal-Ouvrard is always worth staying up late for if you're down in Australia. Let me tell you, this past Sunday, he did a Charles Marie Widor posthumous symphony in which he put together 5 or 6 selections from different Widor symphonies and finishing off with the magnificent toccata. And it was just, people were just absolutely floored and thrilled. And I learned an awful lot about Charles Marie Widor from the selections that he chose and listening how they worked and how they worked together. It was great. He's a great showman. He's a great organist. And if he picked out these 2 pieces to play together, there are musicological reasons for doing so, and organ-loving reasons for you to tune into it if you're musicologically or organologically inclined. Really like that guy, Mal-Ouvrard. And that leaves us with one more concert to tell you about. And I have a picture of this guy too. Pictures of all the players. But can I find it? Because I did not number it. Yeah, here it is. It's dark. That's why I couldn't see it. And it's hard to see him. And I had to lighten up the picture so you could see it at all. Okay. Sunday, October 12th, the Eccles Organ Festival's monthly organ recital features Nathaniel Gums from the Venerable Riverside Church in New York City. Native of the Bronx, New York, who has performed throughout the United States and abroad, including Antigua, St. Thomas, Ghana, Paris, Munich, and more. That's at 8 o'clock in the evening, Mountain Daylight Time, which is 10 o'clock on the East Coast, 4 o'clock in the morning here in Europe, but a lovely noon down under in Australia on Monday morning. I've told you already in the announcement some things about Nathaniel Gums. You know, he's the director of music at the Riverside Church in New York City, where they have a 12,000 pipe organ. So he knows how to play the organ. Before that, he was the director of chapel music at Yale University. He has had and continues to have what you could call a vibrant career as an organist. His program includes some concert variations by Joseph Bonnet, the Andante in D by Felix Mendelssohn, César Franck's Chorale Number 1, William Bolcom's What a Friend We Have in Jesus. And I wonder if that's the What a Friend We Have in Jesus, which is an old-time American fundamentalist or evangelical song. Raymond Hahn's My Lord, What a Morning, Carl Haywood's Spirit Fantasy. All three of these last are by 20th century born composers. Florence Price's, of course, Retrospection. And they'll finish up with Felix Mendelssohn's Sonata Number 1 in F minor, Opus 65. That will be a lovely, lovely concert with variety, both very classic and then some of these, American hymn melodies, which I'm sure he will, jazz up is not the word, but which I'm sure he will amplify and augment with his organ playing, a guy with these talents and this experience. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is what we have for you for this week. That's not one to miss. Before I go, let me, as usual, express the hope that one, more, some, or any of these organ recital live streams inspires you, uplifts you, or just shows you a heck of a good time. And before I leave you, let me remind you, I'll be back in about a half an hour's time to do the weekly roundup of chamber music live streams. So we're not done today. So come back in a half an hour and see me again if you like. If you're watching this on Facebook, please like the video. If you're watching this on any of our other platforms, please follow and or subscribe to Access Arts Live on YouTube, X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and or LinkedIn. And we'll make sure you continue to get more than 1,000 live links to live performances online in the coming year, including weekly groupings of organ recitals like this. And we're the only people online that can make that claim. Nobody else is bringing together all the live streams, not just organ recitals, but the chamber music and contemporary compositions and the big stage productions of orchestras and opera and ballet and any theater that we can find. And there's more than 1,000 of these per year. That's an average of 20 per week. That's more than you can watch every day. So check us out, follow us and or subscribe to us if you're watching this. And I'll be back in a half an hour and we'll talk about all the chamber music and and contemporary compositions going on this week. There's a great lineup of it. Ciao for now.